Today we're going to use our handout, which isn't the greatest, but we'll use it as a guide, and we're going to make a 3D battle axe. Now, making these 3D objects, it's important to try the commands and focus on the commands. It's nice that you get something that looks kind of cool, but the whole goal is to get familiar with the commands. So make sure you're set to 3D modeling in your workspace. We're in the top view, and we're going to start by selecting a circle center radius, which it defaults to, but we're going to click that. We're going to click a spot, and we're going to type 8 and enter. So that's the first circle we've drawn. We're going to go to the side and switch our view to southwest isometric, so it's a little bit easier to see. And we're in 2D wireframe, so we're going to go to extrude. We're going to click on our circle, and we're going to drag it upwards, and we're going to type 4 and enter. So we end up with that sort of shape there. We're then going to select the rectangular command. We're going to click a point and then type D and enter for distance. The distance for ours is going to be 10, enter, 10, enter. And then you just click to the side. So if we go over here and make sure that we have our geometric center and our center selected amongst these others, we can then go to the move command and move it from one center to the other. So I'm going to switch mine from 2D wireframe to shades of gray. I'm going to go to move. I'm going to select the object, and I'm going to select at the geometric center, and then I'm going to go to the center point of the circle, and it snaps right on. I'm then going to use the extrude command to get a hold of this rectangle. I'm going to drag it up, and I'm going to type in 12 and enter. So we end up with this shape here. So we're now going to go to the circle command, and we're going to select center radius. And we're going to draw a circle in the center of this side of the extruded rectangle. And we want the radius to be 5. So let's check this out. If I go here and then I go here and I go down to the center, sometimes it locks on. I'm going to click to the side. Do you notice how that the circle's going the wrong way? So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to switch my view to front so that it snaps like that. I'm going to draw a circle center radius, and if I lock in and drag across, I'm going to set it to 90, click in and drag straight across. Oh, it doesn't seem to be. So I'm just going to go here anyway. I'm going to click the size of my circle, and I'm going to make it 5 and enter. So that gives us the size of the circle. Now I'm going to move this down to the midpoint. So if I go move and I select here, I can just go to the midpoint this way. And that also gets our midpoint. I'm going to move it so that I can view the side a little bit easier. And I'm going to go extrude, and I'm going to click on this circle. I'm going to drag it out, but I want it to come to the quadrant of that bottom circle. So that just snaps on for us, okay? That's the whole point of it being there. And then we're going to choose fillet, and change our radius to 1, and click on the edge of the circle. You can see that it highlights. Press enter. Probably have to press it twice, and you end up with this shape here. Now we want this copied to all 4 sides. So if we go to the top view, and I go to polar array, which we've used many times, select the object you want to polar array. We need our midpoint here, and it copies around. We want to make sure associative is off. And we're going to change it to 4 instead of 6, and the check mark. So if we go back to southwest isometric, there we go. There's the beginning of the axe. So we're going to switch back to the front view. And we need to use the mirror command to mirror the bottom to the top. So there we go. I'm going to just slightly change it so you can see it a little bit better. And we're going to extrude the top face up 1 unit. So hold on here. I think that we have to, I think I skipped a step here. So we're going to actually go to fillet. We're going to click this one and we're going to go enter, enter. We're going to go to the bottom, enter, enter. And that just gives us the curve. Sorry, the handout looks like it didn't have that there. And then we're going to extrude the face at top 1 unit up. So there's a couple ways to do that. Extrude face is right here, and we should be able to just hover, enter. We're going to specify a height of 1, and it just comes straight up for us. So that's one way. We could also use press pull if it's a little easier in that regard. So we're going to fillet the top edge here, and it's 1 as well. So when we flip it over, we're now going to extrude this top face up 60 units. I'm going to just show you that press pull works too. So I'm going to go to press pull, drag it up, and just type 60 and enter. And it ends up giving us this shape here. So we're going to, sorry, I flipped it over. We're going to switch this for the view to 2D wireframe so it's a little easier to see. I'm going to change it to the front view. So here we go here. And I'm going to draw a line. And my line is going to go from the bottom of the newly created to the top midpoint of the cylinder. So from here all the way up to here. Okay. Now I want to move that line so that it's easy to see. So we want to put it to the side here. So I'm just going to select my cylinder and isolate it for a moment. So I'm going to hide it. And I'm just going to move this line that we just made to the side and then go back and unisolate the object. So what this will do is work as a mirror point. So I want to mirror, and I'm going to select the bottom here. I'm going to go from here. Oops. I'm going to go to mirror here. Let's try that again. Select the bottom. So that it goes right to the top for us. So that makes it nice and easy. If I switch it back to shades of gray, it's a little bit easier to see. So that gives us the handle part of the axe. It's coming along quite well. We're going to, again, hold on, select the extrude command and extrude this up. So I'm going to use press pull again. I'm going to click there and I'm going to go up 9. So it gives us our little stubby there. So with that stub in place, we're going to want to mirror this line to the top. So once again, I can select line. I'm going to change it to wireframe so it's a little bit easier to see. I'm also going to go to the front view because I find that easier to work with. And I'm going to draw a line from this point here to the top. Same as we did last time, I'm going to isolate and hide the object so I can just move this to the side. We're using it as a refraction point. So if I go back to isolate and unisolate it, then I can grab mirror. I can select this point of the mirror line, and it should automatically mirror it for us. Now I don't need all this top part here. It mirrored on me as well. So I'm going to just go here to explode and select it. And I'm going to erase these lines here. Now this part here turned into a surface because I exploded it. but it's an easy enough fix and it gives us a chance to use stuff. So I'm going to isolate this part that I don't want to see. I'm going to go to Surface Sculpt. Actually, I'm just going to go to Sculpt. I'm going to select these surfaces. Uh-oh. So that one didn't give me a watertight surface because it says it's open at the top and bottom. So I'm just going to surface patch it. Surf patch. I'm going to click at the top here. Enter, and that fills the top. I'm going to repeat the action of surface patch at the bottom. So now let's see what happens when I sculpt it. I'm going to grab this. So there we go. That's now a solid shape. That's awesome. I didn't even realize we get a chance to use that today. Isolate and object isolation. I'm going to go back to shades of gray, and there we are. Oh my gosh. Our battle axe is looking good so far. So when we get in here, the next thing we're going to do is rectangle command. So I'm going to tilt it a little bit like this. We're going to select the rectangle command. We're going to click, type D and enter. And RD is going to be 16, enter, 16, enter. Oops. If you notice, it came in on the wrong side. So I'm actually going to switch to the top view to draw this because it recalibrates my universal coordinate system icon. Click the rectangle, D, enter, 16, enter, 16, enter, and click a start point. So now that we have this drawn, we're going to move it, and we want to make sure we have our geometric center point on. We're just going to find the center of our circle here. There it is. And then we're going to extrude this line up 24. And it gives us the top sort of piece to it. I'm going to erase this one too because I don't need it. So there we go. There's the top part of our axe right here. So we're going to make our little divots into it. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to go to the front view. I'm going to type in offset edge. I'm going to click the front face. I'm going to type D and enter, and I'm going to type 2, enter, 2, enter, and I end up with this shape here. Okay. I'm going to switch it to a wireframe so it's easy to see the wireframe, and we're going to extrude this back 1 unit. So that gives us a bit of depth to it. So that depth, now if we switch back to shades of gray, you can see that the block is inside. So I'm going to go back to shades of gray. I'm going to switch it to 2D wireframe, and I'm going to go to the left view. So on this left view, I can scroll in a bit. I want to mirror this to the other side. So I'm going to choose the mirror command. I'm going to select this object. And there we go. So we want to get rid of these. So we're going to use the solid subtract command. And I'm going to select this block first, and then the 2 inner blocks, press enter. And if we go to shades of gray, you can see that they're now cut out sections. So I'm going to go back to the front view. I'm going to go back to 2D wireframe because I find it a little bit easier to see. And I'm going to draw a circle with a center radius. Now the size is going to be 4. And normally if I select, I can drag to my center point. But I'm going to go here and just type 4. So it's off to the side, but I'm going to move it. I'm going to move it from this point to the midpoint. Turn it slightly by using my shift and scrolly wheel, and I'm going to extrude this circle out. Oops, tough to see there. I'm going to extrude this circle out here 1 unit. So if you look at it in shades of gray, it looks like that. I'm going to do fillet. I want the radius to be 1, which it's already set to, as you see. And I'm going to click the edge and press enter, enter. So that worked out very well. I'm going to switch back to the left view. I'm going to switch it back to wireframe, and I'm going to mirror this over as well. So now we have that on both sides. So that's working out quite well. So our next step here is I'm going to switch back to shades of gray. I'm going to switch to Southwest isometric. And I want this face to come up 1 unit. So I can go to extrude face. I can click here. I can type 1, enter, enter, and it just moves it up 1 unit. It's tough to tell. It's easier to tell if you're extruding it, but that works out plenty fine. All right, then we're going to go offset edge. I'm going to click the top face, type D and enter, 1 enter, 1 enter. And we end up with this little rectangle here. I'm going to press pull this rectangle up, and this one comes up 1 unit. So there we go. We're now going to switch this back to the front view. So with it at the front view, I'm going to select line, and I'm going to draw a line right from this midpoint straight up 12. Then I'm going to draw another line, and this one's going to come in from the side. I believe it's 1 unit. I believe it comes in 1 unit and then straight up to the top here. So there we go. We end up with that triangle there. I'm going to move it to the side. I'm going to draw a line to join the bottom. And then this is a very important step in modify. We're going to join that triangle like that. So that should be a solid unit now when I touch it, and it is. I'm going to shift this slightly so it's easier to see. And I'm going to go to the revolve command. I'm going to select this. My revolve point is going to be the 90-degree one, and I'm just going to hit enter, because what it does is it makes our cone shape. So I can move this cone now from the bottom middle point to the geometric center, and we're cooking with gasoline right now. So I'm going to go back to the front view. Front view. A lot of view switching. It's to make it easier for us. We're going to grab a circle center radii. We're going to click the very top here, and we're going to type in 22. So that 22 right there is going to set up where our axe blade is. So we're going to go to the move command. We're going to select this. We're going to click here and move it straight up 7 units. And then to the side, we're going to move it 4 units. So that sort of positions it in place. I'm then going to draw a line straight up from the top of the cone, and I'm going to type in 40 units. So there we go. So we got this big line coming up. We're going to move this line now. So we're going to take this line and move it. It doesn't matter where you click, really, as long as it moves it proportionally. We're going to move it 19 to the right, and then we're going to move it straight up 5 units. So there we go. Then we're going to draw a line horizontally across the bottom. So I'm just going to draw a line like this, and then I'm going to move it from the midpoint back. Next step is I want to extend the bottom, the first line we drew, so it's hidden behind trim. Uh-oh, what's going on there? Extend. Choose my boundary edge, see if that works. There we go. I don't know why I had to choose a boundary edge there, but whatever, it worked. So we end up with that circle there. So now what we need to do is draw our first arc. We're going to go to arc and we're going to choose start end radius.
Mr. Kennett, please call 41555.
We're going to start at the bottom, go to the top and type 9 and enter. So we end up with that part of the hook. Then we're going to use the mirror command and select all these items. Go to the midpoint here and straight out. We end up with this. We're almost there for the axe. So now we've got to go arc, start end radius. Start here, go to the top and type 31. And we end up with the axe shape. So we got to do some trimming here to clear it up a bit. So that's the beginning of our axe head, and it's looking pretty good so far. So I'm going to go to the left view. Sorry, front view. I lied to you. Front view, and we need to get rid of some of these lines we don't need. So I'm going to go trim. It's making me choose my boundary edge or cutting edge here. So I'm going to choose this. This is weird. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to cheat it. I want to draw a line from this midpoint straight down to the bottom midpoint. I just saw it light up right there. I'm going to hide this or isolate it for a moment. And I'm going to try using that as a cutting edge. So I'm going to choose this, 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 and this. Oh. So I got to redraw that line in. I don't know what the hell happened there. That was weird.
It's that time, CPI. You got 2 more minutes.
So there's our axe handle, and I'm going to erase these other ones. This, 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 and this. So that gives us our axe handle. I can see that I've got to trim this just a little bit, as well as this one down here. And then I want to join it together. There we go. So we have that one trimmed now. Basically, off to the side here, I'm going to turn it a bit. I'm going to go to extrude, and I'm going to extrude the axe head 12 units. So it makes our axe head look like that. I'm going to then use the chamfer command. So it's hidden here with fillet, chamfer. I'm going to click on distance, and I'm going to go 6, enter, 8, enter. I'm going to click on the edge. Okay, enter, enter. Oh, that did not work. Let's try it again. So we're going to go chamfer, click, 6, enter, 6, enter. There we go. I don't know why it didn't work the first time. 6 and 8. Go to the other side. Chamfer again. And there you go. You end up getting your axe head right like that. So if I go back to isolate, end object isolation. We've got that shape there. We're going to go into offset edge. I'm going to, offset edge. I'm going to click the face here. I'm going to type D and enter, 2 enter, 2 enter, and we get that little shape. I'm going to extrude. I'm going to extrude that one. If I can highlight it, 1 unit back. I want that on both sides, but watch this. I'm going to solid subtract it because I'm running out of time. Solid.
Everyone in the building, stop where you are, remove your hat, and rise if you are able for the reason of the land acknowledgement, playing the vote.
Solid.
The Simcoe County District School Board acknowledges that we are situated on a traditional
You've got
land
your
of
indent.
other people. We acknowledge the enduring presence of First Nation, Métis, and Inuit on this land, and are committed to moving forward in the spirit of
Zoom. Oops. All right, sorry about that. We're back. We made the indent on the one side of our axe, so I'm going to pivot it over to the other. I like to pivot using the shift and scrolly mouse. I'm going to type in fillet edge. Sorry, offset edge. My gosh, making mistakes now. Offset edge, all one word. And when I click on the face here, if I type D enter, and then what was it? It was 2 enter, 2 enter. We get that shape back. It's tough to see. We're going to extrude it. So if I click on the edge and drag it across, I'm going to type in 1 and enter. And then I'm going to solid subtract this bad boy too. Click the solid. Click the thing you want gone. And there's our little indent there. Now, if you notice, it's just off center. So I'm going to move it. And I'm going to move it from this point here. And it should lock in to that point there. Is that centered? That looks pretty well centered there. If not, oh well, we'll have to center it there. And the battle axe is almost complete, but I have to go to the front view. And we're going to go to mirror. We're going to select the axe blade, go from the top straight up. Oh my gosh, if Tag Team were here right now, they'd be yelling, whoop, there it is. And that's our basic battle axe. Now, we're going to add some funk to it by adding color and what have you, but we'll do that on a secondary video. Sorry about the interruption on it. Try drawing your own 3D axe. If you print one, please do not attack me with it. Thank you.